Sandra here from Creating Spain. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a box that I've designed, and it's not quite as straightforward a plain box as it looks from here. Now you may or may not be able to see in here I have lots of dotted lines, and this is because this lid is designed to be an advent lid. Now I've not put any designs on it. I chose to use just a pattern paper, and you might be able to see the dots a little clearer from that side, but take my word for it, it has 25 little areas that can be pulled out so you can hide some chocolates or whatever behind, and this is the base of my box. Now excuse this layer of pink here because my paper was basically not large enough to do this inside piece all in one piece. I could, if I wanted to, put a piece of white paper underneath that, but this is a prototype so I'm not bothering. And basically what I've done is I've given you the file for the tray. Pretty straightforward, it's just tabbed. Now I've chosen to do mine with staples because I was in a hurry and I didn't want to wait for glue to dry when I was doing it. And then inside that you have glued, take this out, a piece which is folded at intervals and cut. Now the cut file gives you this file as well, so you just cut it out and you pinch these areas together and the other piece is flat. And then I've also given you the file for these, which are just doubled over strips that go in between the slots here, and that gives you your separate little compartments. It is very precisely sized so that it fits that size box, okay? It's a 15cm square box and it's 2 centimeters deep. That gives you enough room to put chocolates in there without too much difficulty, or you could use it for something else if you wanted to. Now these tabs are doubled over and glued, so they are reasonably sturdy. And then of course you have your lid, which you could decorate with any kind of stamped images you want. If it's Christmas, obviously Christmas themed things with any picture you want. As I said, I just chose to do this with a decorative card anyway. And the lid goes on, and then when someone receives it, they can open up the various sections. However, I decided that wasn't quite enough for a box, so I've come up with another lid design. This is the next design I've done. It's kind of petals in a circular pattern, which I think happens to look really nice, even as it is, even before it's, you know, messed around and things are pulled up. But there we go, that's the way things roll sometimes. And so I'm going to go over my score lines again, just to make it easier to fold this stiff card. The other thing I did was I made it a couple of millimeters bigger than it was originally, because this being a thick card, as I said, it really needs to have a little bit of wriggle room when it's made in this thick card, so that the top will go over the base a bit easier. I could get it on, but it wasn't unduly easy, so it just needed a little bit of adjustment. No great problem. So I'm going to do my tabs, and I'm going to put my ruler there and then bring up my side pieces. Just having a ruler there for it to go against means it's less likely, especially being a very stiff card, it's much less likely to end up with creases where I don't want them. And I do want to keep the box lid looking nice and pristine, and you know, if you've got creases where they're not supposed to be, it doesn't look so good. So, to give them a really nice sharp crease. Now one thing I would say about doing boxes like this is be careful of the card that you're using. Some cards really don't like folding too much. Some have got a different colour core and sometimes that can cause problems. It doesn't always, but it can do. Right, so these pattern pieces here need to be pulled up. So I think that looks really nice as a box lid goes. I think that's going to look great. So I'm just going to press these down just a little bit, because if I don't press them down, when I put it up this way, they might bend in the wrong direction, in the wrong place or whatever. Put a little bit in the centre as well. Just to hold this down and make sure you put it the wrong way up, of course. There we go. So now this can have the sides glued shut. Take some of that excess off. And make it shut. In theory, any glue which is a rapid drying glue for wood should glue paper really well, or card. I wouldn't necessarily want to use it if I was just using layers of paper, because there's a lot of glues that will glue it but will show through or make the paper wrinkle or whatever. But on card, no, this should be fine. And they are often cheaper than buying a dedicated craft glue, I hasten to add. If you want to, of course, you can put it into a smaller container to dispense it. But since this one has a nozzle, for what I tend to use this glue for, which is more construction, that's perfectly adequate. So there we are. I have my base of my design, and I can jazz that up by using gems and things if I want to. And because it has that darker spotty colour underneath, you get a nice bit of dimension in there. I think that looks really nice as a box lid. So this one should fit pretty well. Yep, I think that should fit fine. Just corner. There we go. That one goes on there fine. It's a nice, comfortable fit. If you have a thinner card, like this one, which is a relatively flimsy one, then I would recommend that you use the box lid, which is the same size as the base. If you are using a thicker card, then use this as your top section. You can alter the inside of it to your heart's content, but use this oversized piece to go on top of your bottom if you've got a much thicker, heavier card. Now this I have also, when I originally designed this, I made the lid 2 centimeters thick as well. I redesigned it so that it's only about 1.75. I've put a little gem in the center here, and I thought it'd be fun to have a ribbon around it. But because I haven't filled this box yet, I cannot put the ribbon around and stick it down. So I just have to show you how it's done. To do it, you wrap it around the corner. You wrap it around the other corner. When you come to the back, you should have it so that it is like that. And then if you've got these lines parallel and it's where you want it to be, you can then either glue that or put some tape on it. And then I would put a bow on the top here, most probably. As I said, because I've not got mine filled, then I can't do that, because I really don't want to have to undo it all in order to fill it. But I do think this would make a very nice special box of chocolates. In this particular case, it could just be for someone for a birthday, or to say hello or thank you or whatever. If you want to make it as the advent calendar, then obviously you need to use that type of top. But I think this is a really pretty box, and I'd be quite happy to receive something like that myself. And if you just buy little individual type chocolates or the bars that we get, I think, if I remember rightly, just trying to think, I think if you buy certain bars of chocolate in either Aldi or Lidl, they actually come as individual pieces, and you could put those in here, and it would just make it that much more special. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Take care now.